What a spotlight for the future stars who will be moving on to Major League Baseball, but who make their appearance today as the young stars coming out of the minors. As the youngsters born from other places in the world take on those born in the United States. The world against the USA. Hey, great to have you with us, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne along with Steve Phillips. This is the 9th annual. 15 players have played in this game and moved on to play in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So that is the level of talent we get to see here. And this has become a real spotlight for these minor league players.
Well, there's no question. Minor league baseball is the lifeline for Major League Baseball. Looking at these two rosters, the future of the game is in very good hands. Without a doubt, we have future All-Stars on the field today and quite possibly future Hall of Famers as well.
And when we look at Team USA, they talk about their outfield because there are 15 first-rounders on this team.
Now, some great talent on Team USA, starting with Justin Upton, Arizona Diamondbacks outfield prospect. The best package of tools of any player here in the game. He can run, he can hit for average, he can hit for power, he can field, he can throw, he can do it all. Also, third baseman Evan Longoria, no relation, by the way, to Eva, but a guy that's a superstar in the making as well. He can hit for power and average, a middle-of-the-lineup force. And finally, Jacoby Ellsbury got a little taste of the major leagues with the Boston Red Sox earlier this year. A Johnny Damon look-alike type player. He can hit for average, he can cover a lot of ground in the outfield, and he can run. Some real tools and presence on this American team.
Why did I sense you wanted there to be a relationship there so she might be at the game?
Just in case.
Turning to the world team, take a look at any Major League roster, and you can tell the impact baseball has had and it on baseball.
Well, the global impact of baseball, I mean, it's out there now. Players coming from all over the world, and you look at the numbers right now on Major League rosters, 29% of the players on opening day came from players born outside the United States. The minor leagues now loaded with players, 46% of the players, and the All-Star team, this year's All-Star, 35%. Baseball needs the foreign-born player. We've got a guy in the game today, Vladimir Valentin, an absolute superstar in the making. He wears 25 on the back. He's from Curacao. There's another guy named Andrew Jones. Valentin, 20 home runs so far this year, 66 RBIs, a real power force in this world lineup.
Aaron Andrews going to be joining us at field level. A chance to meet many of these youngsters, including this one, Joey Votto, Cincinnati, AAA. Aaron?
All right, Gary, thank you so much. Joey, you played in the Futures Game last year. What kind of experience do you walk away in an event like this?
I just have a good time. I'm in San Francisco. I really get along with my teammates, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be fun playing against, Jay's on the other team. He plays for Cincinnati, and we get along real well. So we might have a little friendly competition today, try and hit it in the Cove. So.
All right, well, you told me earlier that the Reds are very tight-lipped about when we could see you in Cincinnati, although a lot of people are saying it's coming very soon. How do you keep it all in perspective?
Just play hard. I just try to get all my extra work in, work hard, learn from my teammates, learn from the guys I play with, and I have some older players on my team that I really pay attention to, and that's basically it. Get my work in.
All right, well, thanks so much. Have fun today.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
All right, let's send it over to Gary.
Aaron, and I think that's exactly what they will do. They'll play some great baseball, but they will enjoy the moment. These are the best in this ballpark here, AT&T Park, that looks out onto the bay in McCovey Cove, and it is just a glorious setting. These players themselves taking advantage of it, getting some autographs amongst themselves this morning while they were out there taking infield BP. And Team USA making its way out. Let's take a look at the starting lineup they will be facing as the world lineup. Juan Marichal will be the skipper. And here's what it looks like. As they will have Saunders leading it off. Michael Saunders, great speed out there. Chin Lung Hu will be making the start at shortstop. We've already talked about one of the big bats, Vladimir Valentin, in the lineup. Take a look at where he is playing. We already had the discussion with Joey. He'll be out there, Reds prospect in AAA. Ramirez brings a big bat to the middle of the lineup. Max is with the Indians. Duran making the start. The Rangers AA hopeful. Diaz will be doing the catching. We'll see a couple of catchers. Robinson Diaz of the Blue Jays. Gonzalez, Carlos in left with the Diamondbacks, and Freddie Sandoval will be batting ninth. He is the Angels playing at AA ball right now. And the manager of this ball club, the Dominican dandy, Juan Marichal, will be handling the names over there and the lineups today for the World Team. Now, everybody's going to get a chance to play who has come here. At least that is the plan. Those are the reserve players, and we will remind you throughout, always keep an eye on the right-hand side. Those of you who are fans of whatever team at the major league level, this is your chance to see some of tomorrow's stars, and in some cases, literally maybe tomorrow, some of these players will be with your major league ball club.
All right, take a look at the starting pitcher for the USA team, Jeffrey Neiman from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays organization, 6'9", a real presence on the mound, pitching at AAA. He's had a lot of injuries in his career, but very good strikeout numbers, 93 strikeouts in 98 innings, a 95 to 97 mile-an-hour fastball to look for this afternoon.
A little different, Steve, in the way this is done, because these pitchers know, and virtually all of them are starters at the minor league level, they know they're only going to be working an inning. So the way they pitch is obviously different than what you would see if they were in an actual ball game they were starting in. This is the probable rotation for the pitchers in this ball game. The managers have, of course, have reserved the right to change the rotation depending on the game situation.
Well, I think what we're going to see is, everybody going one inning. You're going to see a little bit more on the fastball today, not pacing themselves or trying to take themselves deep into a game. Guys who might normally start, you're going to see them ramped up a little bit with the excitement of being in a major league stadium as well.
The record, this is the 9th annual XM All-Star Futures Game, 5-3 in favor of the United States in the previous 8 games that have been played. The offensive strength probably goes to Team USA. The world team will be relying more on its pitching and defense. Not that they don't have offensive players, but this U.S. team is really loaded with some offensive talent. Michael Saunders will be leading it off. There are the numbers that he has put up. He is playing at High Desert in A ball. He will be making the start in center field in this ball game. Neiman's pitch to him is taken inside for a ball, and we're underway.
Well, Saunders from Canada, and a lot of times with young Canadian players, they tend to be late bloomers, not playing as much baseball north of the border.
Comes with a fastball. That'll be fouled back. If there is such a thing as a pressure-packed game that's an all-star game, I guess this would be it, because for both the pitchers and hitters, they know their time to show what they have is pretty limited.
But it's a great opportunity as well, and for all of these guys, they've got to go out there and try to be the best player on the field today.
That ball is grounded towards second base. Took a hop off the side of the mound, and that's going to be messed up. It'll roll out. Coughlin had the opportunity, could not come up with it, and Saunders is going to make it to first base. Rice was the college. 2003 was the year, the College World Series. Jeff Neiman, who you're looking at on the mound right now, was a sophomore. He went 17-0 with an amazing 1.7 earned run average to lead the Owls to their first College World Series title. Neiman selected by the Devil Rays, and he is on the mound today here in our XM All-Star Futures Game. Runner on at first base. Pitch is taken inside by who?
You think about the Devil Rays organization and the depth of young position player prospects. Well, Scott Kazmir, now James Shields kind of emerging this year, but if Neiman can step in and be a middle of the rotation starter pretty quickly, they may have a chance to start to compete in the tough American League East.
Runner goes. Here's the throw down, and it is not going to be in time. A real good jump for Saunders, who will steal second base. Anderson got off a fine throw, but he was not going to get him on that break.
Well, Saunders got a good jump off of Neiman. Big leg kick, good jump, good acceleration as he goes in, and a strong throw from behind the plate from Brian Anderson, but able to get in, beat the throw.
Brian Anderson, St. Louis Cardinal organization. Now who gets an opportunity for an RBI, and he's going to get one down the line. Pierce could not get to it. Sanders will come around to score. Who goes into second base? An RBI double. And the first 2 hitters for Team World not only have gotten on, one's come across.
Well, good piece of hitting by Ching-Lung Hu. And if you're in the stands watching this as a scout, you're saying to yourself, okay, man on second, I've got to get him over. Let's see what he does in this situation. He gets a fastball out over the plate. He has exactly the right approach, inside-out approach, knowing he's going to keep his hands inside the ball, hit it to the right side. Even if he had made it out there, he would have done exactly what you want him to do. Picks up a double, puts himself in scoring position.
And another runner in scoring position out there at second base. Still nobody out. And here is Vladimir Valentin, whom we talked about at the top of the show, making the start in right field. Neiman's fastball is going to be taken inside.
Well, Valentin, a real power force, 20 home runs, 66 RBIs this year. He's learned to cut down his swing a little bit. Had 163 strikeouts in about 127 games a couple years ago, but on a much better pace this year, more contact.
Runner goes. Anderson's throw. He had no chance. Ball will get away, but not going anywhere, and a stolen base. So who picks up a stolen base? And the World team now, their first 2 hitters have each stolen a base.
Well, Juan Marcel has him coming out of the gates here, running, and You know, you watch Neiman on the mound, and clearly he's a big guy with a big leg kick and a lot of action to try to get that delivery where he wants. They picked it up. When you steal third base, most of the time you're stealing it off of the pitcher.
Infield will stay back here with nobody out. Ball is hit in the air to right center field. Upton coming over. Runner tagging at third base. Who will make the charge? Here's the throw by Upton. Look how he aired that one out. There's a case where he didn't get the out, but he may get a mark on the scorecard by one of the people scouting.
I'll tell you what, that's why I love this game. These guys are out here, and a lot of Major League outfielders might give up on that. But this is a showcase. This is a chance to show off your tools. And for Justin Upton, this is why people like him. Now, you like to throw maybe a little bit lower, but you don't have to hit the cutoff, man, when you're trying to throw a guy out at the plate. We talk about the tools, the arm strength. Well, that's above average, well above average arm strength, almost elite type arm strength from Justin Upton right there. He can do a lot of other things in the game as well.
Boy, did he let that one go. So that is the first out recorded in the inning. Sacrifice fly. Valentin will be credited with the RBI. And one down. So Neiman will get to go back into the windup here. Votto at the plate. Joey Votto, the off-speed delivery, is going to be taken up high and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, Votto, the MVP of the Southern League last year, got off to a slow start this season. Went to a doctor, realized he had some problems, astigmatism in his eyes. Got some contact lenses, went on a 17-game hit streak, and has gotten hot again.
Neiman has had to face these left-handers. They have given him a problem this year, as the left-handers have hit .297 off him and right-handers only .235. That's something else that scouts take a look at when they're looking at the pitching. How do they do against the right and left-hand combination? Did he go? And they go to third, and no, says Francis Burley, the umpire.
Well, one of the things Jeffrey Neiman's going to have to work on is just about everything is hard. He's a fastball slider pitcher. He has a curveball that's more of a roller, and he doesn't have the most effective changeup. So if he's going to be a starter, he's going to need something soft to get the left-handers out.
And he comes back inside with that and gets the strikeout. Votto out of there, 2 down.
We talk about the tools, and one of them is arm strength. We look at the outfield's arm strength. An average outfielder, everything's based off of Major League average. That's Magley Ordonez. A good, solid throw, good carry on the ball, but nothing overpowering. You talk about the best kind of arm, well, that's Vladimir Guerrero, an elite arm. He can throw anywhere. He can throw flat-footed and nail base runners. We saw Justin Upton closing in on the type of arm that a Vladimir Guerrero has, a little bit better than Magley Ordonez.
Now there are 2 down, so Neiman with a chance now to get out of the inning, having giving up the 2 runs. And he did so on the 1 hit, and then the error that was charged to the second baseman, which allowed that leadoff man to get on base. Fastball is going to miss up high. The designated hitter, this is Max Ramirez, who is at the plate. Ramirez has got some pop in the bat.
Acquired in a trade last year at the deadline from the Atlanta Braves for Bob Wickman.
He will pop that one up down the first base side. Pierce going after it in the high sun. Second baseman in, and it's caught. Bruce Coughlin, the second baseman, at a bad angle, but he got a glove on it, and Bruce stayed with it to help out, and they will get the out. Now this is what you want to do, make your presence known in the game. Watch this, in the webbing, out off the chest. Bruce is here to put it down. And an early lead, though, for the world team. Gets on the board in the first inning with a 2-0 lead. Team USA will be battling from behind right from the get-go in this ball game. Dave Winfield, their manager. Take a look at the starting lineup that they will put out there in this game. Jacob Ellsbury's already played for the Red Sox. We'll talk about that. You saw the arm of Justin Upton. He'll get a chance early in the lineup. Evan Longoria, sorry, Steve, he's still not related. Batting cleanup, designated hitter Ian Stewart. You saw the play at first base a moment ago. Stephen Pierce going back, didn't get it, but helped out. Brent Lillibridge will be in there at shortstop. The man who did make the catch on that last out, Jay Bruce, making the start in right field. Chris Coughlin, he'll be making the start at second base and batting 8th, and doing the catching Brian Anderson from the Cardinals AA organization. And as we said with the world team, the players who are here all will get an opportunity to come into the game. There are the reserves for Team USA and the major league organizations that they are affiliated with. And we will see all of them as we roll along. Team USA. Ellsbury from the Red Sox, and yes, he did play at the major league level, 6 games for Boston. he had to come back down in order to play.
He did. And pitching today for the world team, Rick Vandenhert for the Florida Marlins organization. Signed with the Marlins at 17 years old out of a Dutch academy, and originally a catcher, converted to pitcher, and got a taste of the major leagues this year and been bouncing around a little bit in the minor leagues. Got his first start in the major leagues. He actually had a couple pretty good games when he was up there. Family flew 16.5 hours from the Netherlands to come over and watch him make his major league debut.
And worth every dollar spent and every minute on the plane for that opportunity. Ellsbury, a chopper towards second base. That's going to be a 3 or 4 roller. Duran has to hurry and just got the out. Ellsbury with some pretty good speed right there. That's a little more movement that he had when he came up to the Red Sox this season. Watch this. How would you like your first at bat? Fenway Park, home crowd, your dream comes true, and you're out and you never get out of the batter's box.
Well, a learning experience. I asked him what it was like going up to the major leagues. What did you learn? He says, you know what, just that I can play up there, that I'm going to be all right. It was nice to get some of the first out of the way. Well, he didn't run there, but I tell you what, that ground ball to second base, he flew down the baseline. He's a flyer on the bases.
And he did get a major league hit that was just like that as he beat out a ground ball to second base in that ball game that he played in. One down here. Here is Upton. When we saw him make that great throw from center field, and if you ask around most of the scouts, Baseball America's rankings, this is the guy who's at or next to the top.
Well, he has all the tools that can impact a game. He got off to a slow start last year in his career. Now a full season under his belt, has made the adjustment of playing every day.
Big cut right there, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on him.
And you take a look at what he can do, and when we talk about all the different tools in the game, he may have the best overall package. He's going to hit for average and for power, still making adjustments. Brother BJ with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
He's put up combined numbers of 380 in the minors. Extra base hits. He's got 101 total hits in 84 games, including 18 doubles, 6 triples, and 13 home runs. And obviously has some speed to get those. He has stolen 16 bases, caught 9 times.
I asked him how much he talks to his brother BJ during the course of the season. He said just about every day. And you know, that's that bond of playing professional baseball in addition to being brothers and sharing the ups and downs of the game. And well, his brother BJ's gone through some ups and downs in his career early on here as well.
And the fastball is taken outside from Vanderhurk, and it goes to a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a lot of hits this year at the minor league level between the 2 different levels he's played at. He'll foul that one back onto the screen. Both of these players have had an opportunity to be in this Futures game. There you see BJ, 2nd overall, 2002. Justin, 1st overall. Here he is, and he is out of there. He thought he had a walk, but the home plate umpire, Dave Rackley, calls him out on strikes on the 3-2 pitch.
And they got him on the outside corner. Good pitch by Vandenhurk, hitting his spot away. Watch where they set up, looking for the outside fastball, and exactly hit his spot, got the pitch, and a little delayed call by the umpire there. He's got his own little flair. These are minor league umpires umpiring this game from the AA level.
Evan Longoria will go after the first pitch and not catch up to it. 301 average so far this season at the minor league level. Leads the Southern League in home runs with 18. And a breaking ball taken down low.
Well, one thing we're going to know, guys are going to swing the bat today. You don't come to an all-star showcase game like this and take walks. You go up looking for something to drive.
And that one way up high. And you can, one of the problems the pitchers have, wanting to throw so hard in the 1 inning they're going to get to work, you'll see some pitches overthrown. It's just inevitable in a ball game like this where they're trying to impress in such a quick period of time. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you know, watching batting practice today, I mean, these young players can hit the balls as far out of the ballpark as major league players can. I mean, so you say, well, what's the difference between an A ball, a AA player, and a major leaguer? It's just consistency.
And that ball's taken in the air to center field and deep. Saunders back in the wall, and he's not going to get it. Into second base. Longoria will stop there, and he will have a double some 400-plus feet away to about the deepest part of this ballpark.
Well, Vandenhurk beat Longoria with a fastball. Then he got him kind of looking for a breaking ball, threw another fastball by him. You see him make the adjustment, hit against that front leg and drive the ball out there. A big, strong guy. Kind of an upper body swing right now, not using his bottom half as much as he will. And Saunders had a little difficulty going to the wall there. And that's one of the things you talk to young outfielders. The third deck in the major league stadiums. You know, minor league stadiums usually might have an upper deck if they have it at all. The third deck in the stadium at times makes it more difficult to track the ball. One of the adjustments young outfielders need to make.
Now with 2 down, a runner on at second base for Team USA with 2 away. That one's going to go all the way to the backstop. Look at the ricochet going in on the wild pitch to third base. Longoria. That ball came right back to the catcher Diaz, who actually looked down to third, thought he might have a play on that.
Good heads-up play. You got to read the new ballpark, but that kicked off a lot more than I've seen in many parks.
That happened at the major league level in a Baltimore Oriole game recently, where runner tried to score from third and it bounced right back to the catcher, and he was out, cost him a game. That ball is popped up third base side, not a play.
Well, Ian Stewart at the plate, Colorado Rockies prospect. Hitter signed out of high school, first-round draft pick, was going to go to USC. Had a little bit of a down year last year, making adjustments, getting back going, and I guess the road blocked a little bit with Garrett Atkins, young hitter at third for the
Vanden Hurk will get a comebacker. He will make the flip over and get the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. Delighted to have you with us, taking a look at the future stars of Major League Baseball. And it's Cisco, the XM All-Star Futures Game. The world on top 2-0 as we go to the second inning. This is, of course, the site for the All-Star Game on Tuesday. As we said, you'll be seeing a new pitcher in each game.
Chuck Lofgren on the mound, San Francisco native, and you hear the crowd recognizing their hometown boy, a product of the Cleveland Indians organization. Big, strong lefty, 97 strikeouts in 93 innings. Quality stuff. Left-hander with a fastball, about 90 miles per hour.
Juan Marichal getting a big ovation as he stands out in front of the dugout. He is managing the world team, and they just showed his retired number up on the big scoreboard here. A big, giant favorite, the Dominican dandy. What a great pitcher he was. Herman Duran will lead it off here against Chuck Lofgren. And the left-hander's pitch is taken outside for a ball.
Well, Lofgren was a high school outfield prospect as well, and some teams thought he could be signed to play professionally as an outfielder instead of a pitcher.
Pops that one up high, sky. Nobody knew where it was. Diaz coming back and runs out of room. It's behind the screen.
Well, the Indians drafted Lofgren and signed him to pitch, but made a deal with him that they'd let him hit some as well. And started his career in the Appalachian League, was pitching okay, and got a chance to DH his 5th game in DHing, hit a double, and he's on second base. Now remember, this is a starting pitcher they gave a lot of money to. He rounds second on a ball hit, on a base hit, comes into the plate, has a collision, bites through his bottom lip, and they said, you know what?
There's a towering fly ball to left field, warning track and room, and hauled in. Gonzalez went back to get it, and the out recorded here as Ellsbury rather, hauls it in left field.
So they opted to say, they sat down with him and said, you know, I think maybe we ought to just stick to pitching. Lofgren said it's one of the better decisions he agreed to, and moved on his hitting career and concentrated on pitching. Has been terrific. Carolina League Pitcher of the Year last year, and a guy with a great future.
You know, the teams take a long look at a game like this, even though they're following these players all season long, of course. Chance to see them in an emotional situation, and one where the juices are flowing, and see how they perform under these circumstances against other great players.
Well, this is a great development opportunity. If you're a general manager, a farm director, seeing what your player can do in this kind of a setting.
Lays the bat on the ball, and he's got a base hit. Robinson Diaz, the catcher, and that's what he does. He's had 270 plus at bats, and the whole thing, he's got 11 walks and 15 strikeouts, so that's a contact hitter.
He is a bad ball hitter. He goes up swinging to make contact. Never seen a fastball he didn't like. You see that ball's low right there. There's another guy, Vladimir Guerrero, swings a lot of fastballs down in the zone, but good piece of hitting, going down where the pitch is and poking at the center field.
He is on at first base, and Carlos Gonzalez coming up. Great shot from overhead here of AT&T Park in San Francisco. Gonzalez with a runner at first. I'll tip that one into the mitt for a strike. Gonzalez with the Arizona team. The numbers that he has put up so far this season, playing in the Southern League, he's got 22 baggers. He's got some speed. He also has struck out 72 times and drawn only 19 walks. And a ground ball to first, a foul ball out of Pierce's reach.
Well, Gonzalez was in the 2006 Futures game as well, and a repeat performer, and not having the kind of season he wants. He's got to get that plate discipline back in order, chasing a lot of pitches out of the zone, and hit a bad pitch well. And I think that for young players to understand that the first strike they see may not be the best strike that they see in at bat is one of the toughest things to learn.
And he struggled against left-handers, and he pops this one up. A 168 hitter against lefties this year, and this lefty gets him on the pop-up. Longoria makes it, and there are two down. Diaz still on at first base, and Freddie Sandoval will be coming up. Great chance for the fans with this game's names of the past having made it to the major league level. The fans know most of these players they're getting to see here are going to get their chance at the major league level. That pitch is taken inside for a ball. This is Freddie Sandoval making the start at third base. Sandoval playing at Double-A in Arkansas. There are two down and a 1-0 count. 2-0 lead for the World over Team USA. Throttle back on that one. 1-1.
You know, we watch this because we love these young players, and you know the major league executives watch these top prospects, either their own players or potential trade bait in deals. A lot of fans in fantasy baseball with some of these players that might come up and impact their rosters in the future.
One of these players will take home the Larry Doby MVP award. That'll be after the ball game. Last year, Billy Butler of the Kansas City organization, Team USA, who had a 2 for 3, 2 RBIs and a home run, was the winner of the Larry Doby MVP. That one fouled straight back for a souvenir. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
July 5th was the 60th anniversary for Larry Doby, going to the major leagues with the Cleveland Indians organization. So a timely award for the MVP of this game. Omar
Minaya has got a New York Mets team that's in first place but battling a little bit right now.
With Bob Watson there from Major League Baseball. And Omar knows a little bit about the international game. When I was general manager for the Mets, he was my assistant, a big part of globalizing our scouting efforts. One of the most diverse teams in Major League Baseball right now, the New York Mets.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Diaz on at first base. And the 2-2 delivery with 2 down. His bounced runner goes. Anderson's throw will not be in time. Good stop made by Coughlin at second base. That will be a wild pitch and allow Diaz to move down to second base.
Heads up base running by Diaz there, reading the ball in the dirt, getting a good jump. Get himself in scoring position with 2 outs.
Now we'll see whether or not a 2-out base hit can be had here with a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Freddie Sandoval. He's not a power hitter. 20 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs on the year. 38 RBIs, more of a table setter. The Angels organization, and he is gone. So Lefgren gets the strikeout, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The World remains on top by a score of 2-0. We've already seen being recognized, wore that San Francisco uniform and is a legend. Hall of Fame career, 10-time All-Star, 20-game winner, 6 times, 243 games, all but 5 with San Francisco, and recognized with the statue outside. And Aaron Andrews is with number 27.
And I just want to say Dominican Dandy. That just sounds great. Congratulations to you for having that name. What is this experience like for you managing the World team?
Well, it's a great thrill and honor. First time as a manager, and be able to talk to so many youngsters, guys that want to become a major leaguers and a superstar, and someday they're going to be there. So for me, it's a thrill being in the same room with so many kids that love to play the game.
Well, as Gary just talked about, you were there, and let's talk about that game early in the 60s, that famous game you threw 16 innings, and now you've got with a pitch count. and a 5-man rotation. What's the difference between when you were on the mound?
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Those days wasn't such a thing, that you're supposed to go to the mounds and the manager expect you to go 9 innings. That was it. And today, they only ask you for maybe 70, 80 pitches or 6, 7 innings. Because the difference today is the setup man and the closer. I wish I could have had those guys when I was pitching. Yeah, maybe I could have pitched a few more years. But the game changed that respect. But I love it the way it is, The closer they can, sometimes they throw one pitch and they get the credit for a save. So it's good for the game.
Well, Juan, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Gary, back to you.
Great star and a wonderful man. He pitched against Warren Spahn in the ball game we were talking about, 1963, July 2. These two guys went the distance in a 16-inning game. Warren Spahn went 15 1/3, 56 hitters. Juan Marichal, 16 innings, 59 batters faced in that ball game. Can you imagine that?
He did have a setup man and a closer. It was him.
It was him.
He was the starter, the setup man, and the closer.
I'll take care of this. You saw Pierce, who popped that one up, and who handled it at short after the third baseman got involved. So there's one down here. And Brent Lillibridge, out of the Atlanta organization, has played in the Southern and the International League with a combined .269 average this year.
Well, Lillibridge, part of the big offseason trade that sent Adam LaRoche from the Atlanta Braves to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And along with Mike Gonzalez, he came from the Pirates to the Braves. And Bobby Cox raved about his baseball knowledge and instincts in spring training.
He has great speed, too, and a good breaking ball. Carlos Carrasco from Venezuela, the Philadelphia organization, is the man on the mound.
I tell you, they love this kid's arm. He has tremendous velocity on his fastball, a great changeup. You look at the strikeout numbers there. Tough to hit, 199 batting average against, and he's coming quickly for a very, very young guy, and look for him to continue to move through the Phillies organization.
And Carrasco will face Jay Bruce. He too has moved through a couple of leagues so far this year, a combined .325 average, Florida State League and the Southern League. He has 107 hits in 82 games. I mean, he has been a hit monster. 34 doubles, 6 triples, and 15 RBIs combined in the 2 leagues that he's played in. And he rips that one to right field. That is way back. 421 off the bricks. He's thinking about 3. Makes the turn. Is the relay throw to third. Not in time. And I guarantee you he will never forget that one. What a shot. 420+ feet away.
That's not going to be the last time you see this young man do it. He is a great hitter. He is coming very quickly. The ball sounds different coming off his bat. And he's a hustler as well. Plays the game the right way. He thought 3 out of the box. He thought, well, maybe home run, and then he thought 3. But I tell you, a lot of people compare Jay Bruce to Larry Walker, former Expo and Colorado Rocky player. Left-handed bat, plays game hard. Arm strength in the outfield, good base runner. Not the best speed, but a good base runner. Do not forget that name. Jay Bruce is coming quick for the Cincinnati Reds.
Out of Beaumont, Texas, where he played high school ball. Now with 2 down, a runner at third base. Team USA trying to get on the board here as they trail the world 2-0. Chris Coughlin, who is at second base. See the numbers that he has put up this season. Greensboro, A ball for the Florida Marlins organization. Breaking ball from Carrasco is taken inside. This is another hit maker. 99 hits in 81 games. 26 doubles, 4 triples, 10 home runs for him. He's got a .530 percentage this year. Fastball misses away, 3-0.
They won the batting title in the Cape Cod League, a college summer league where it's a wood bat league where hitters get a chance to show that they can use the wood bat and start the transition before they become professionals. Hit .346 in 2005.
And he is on with a walk. You'll see the hitters a little disgusted in this game. They don't want walks. They don't want to look bad swinging at bad pitches either.
Well, and you know, his game, he does have terrific plate discipline, and it's not a surprise. Those guys who work the count, those guys who get the 2-1 counts, the 3-1 counts, tend to hit for a better average, and the power starts to come as well. And all of these good young hitters seem to have those same traits.
Carrasco now has runners first and third as he looks for the third out of the inning, with Bruce over there at third base, Coughlin on at first, and Brian Anderson, who is doing the catching. St. Louis Cardinal organization, big offensive numbers for him, playing in the Texas League, and a chance to get an RBI with a base hit, and that's going to be taken for a strike.
Around the batting cage today, a lot of these players have heard of each other. Some have played against each other. Guys were teasing him about going old school with the Sox today. The Red Sox, he thought it clashed a little with the orange and black in the jersey, though.
I like it, though. It's got some pizzazz to it, doesn't it?
I like it.
I do.
I asked him, as a catcher, is his bat ahead of his defense or his defense ahead of his bat? And he thought he's more of the offensive type, and that the catching game is a work in progress right now.
Simi Valley High School, as he is a Thousand Oaks born and raised youngster here in California. He was going to go to the University of Arizona, signed a pro contract instead, and he still lives here in California. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down, 2 on, and took something off it and gets the strikeout. So Carrasco gets a couple of Ks and leaves base runners stranded at first and third. The world team remains on top of Team USA 2-0. ESPN 2 HD presented by Sharp Aquas. And boy, you want HD to take a look at that, don't you? San Francisco Bay. The world has a 2-0 lead. Join ESPN tomorrow for memorable moments in baseball beginning at 8 Eastern. The 07 State Farm Home Run Derby live from right here at AT&T Park. 10 Eastern, the debut of the miniseries The Bronx is Burning, presented by MasterCard. And at 11, the Taco Bell All-Star Legends and Celebrity Softball game from San Francisco. That is all coming up tomorrow. Bring on another pitcher.
21-year-old right-hander Jabba Chamberlain of the New York Yankees organization, pitching at Double-A right now. Take a look at these numbers. 190 opponent's batting average, 99 strikeouts in 67 2/3 inning because of 95 to 97 mile-an-hour fastball and an absolutely nasty slider. This guy's got terrific stuff.
Chamberlain will go to work here with his team trailing 2-0. Back to the top of the order. Michael Saunders reached on an error and scored. The Canadian native from Victoria, British Columbia, who went to Tallahassee Community College to play ball and in the Seattle organization. 1-0 delivery to him. Foul back. 1-1.
Chamberlain, a great story. The Winnebago tribe, Native American in Nebraska. Played at University of Nebraska, signed with the Yankees, went to the Hawaiian Winter League this past winter time, and top prospect in that league.
41st overall pick in 2006. And he is the highest drafted Native American in baseball history. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And Steve, he's a great story.
He really is. His father, raised by a single parent, his father who has polio and gets around with a scooter. And really the family sacrificed. Could play ball. His dad used to go out and just play catch with him in the scooter. Couldn't play other sports with him, but really was a big part of his life and his biggest fan right now. And you saw him at the College World Series cheering for him back at Nebraska, and now cheering for him as well today. And just a great story of perseverance and this kind of guy you root for.
3-1 delivery, and that's going to be inside. Java's dad is at home watching this game on television. So, Mr. Chamberlain, congratulations. And I know you are loving this moment, as you do all of those with your son playing professional baseball.
What's great about this game is the players talk to us. I mean, these are young guys who are willing to, to talk and get interviewed and answer stories. I got introduced, said hello to him. He took his hat off and greeted me. I mean, just a real gentleman. And
don't worry, once he gets to know you, won't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just kidding.
You mean it's me? They don't treat everybody like that at the major league level?
He thought you were still a GM.
I tell you what, coaches and managers, they love me because they figure maybe if I get a GM job again, they might get a job with me.
True. That's called leverage, huh? Oh, the shortstop will foul that one back. Batting second in the lineup, picked up an RBI single and stole a base and scored his first time up.
Well, Chin-Lung Hu found out before the game today he's going up to AAA after the XM All-Star Futures game. Promotion for him.
How great is that?
Are we getting promoted after this?
If you ask the people at ESPN, there's nowhere to be promoted to.
We've made it, huh? This is it.
This is it. There goes the runner, 1-1. Tough pitch to throw on. Another good throw, but not in time. We talk about base stealers who steal on pitchers. The 3 stolen bases that we have seen in this game have been taken off the pitchers.
Well, you know, and look, a little bit of this is guys being caught up in the moment. You've got pitchers in a big stadium with all kinds of fans, and, you know, they want to kind of show off a little bit. You tend not to focus necessarily on some of the little things. We saw that with Jeffrey Neiman in the first inning, couple stolen bases against him, and Jabba getting caught up a little bit, and the motion and energy of the game.
They are running. Here's the 1-2 delivery on a fastball, foul back. That's called a late swing right there, folks, and just got enough of it to keep the at-bat alive.
Well,
Look at the bird.
one of the
We were here first.
Well, that doesn't happen in Trenton. Double-A. It's a major league bird right there.
Send your catcher out. All pitchers send their catchers out to do the dirty work. So Brian Anderson had to go out and shoo him away, but not very far. Hey, it's a nice piece of turf, you know.
Give that bird a microphone and
put him on. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Who takes that one to right field? He's got a base hit. Bruce up with it. Runners coming. Here's the throw by Bruce to the plate. Not in time. And an RBI base hit, and it is a 3-0 lead for Team World.
Now 2 for 2 for Ching Lung Hu, and also 2 great approaches at the plate. Both time man on second base. Nobody out. His job to advance the runner. Did it successfully in the first inning, and once again gets it done here. A guy throwing 96 miles per hour. He's not going to try to do too much, just try to punch it over to the right side, move the runners along, and hello, this is a well above average arm right there. Jay Bruce, who ripped it off the center field wall earlier, shows off another tremendous tool.
And this Team World being very aggressive on the base paths. We talked about the power of Team USA and their lineup offensively. But Team World here early on in this game is the team that's putting up the numbers. Vladimir Valentin had a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Who has 2 RBIs? Valentin the other.
A pretty good matchup right here. Vladimir Valentin, 20 home runs, 66 RBIs, a power hitter. Wears number 25 on his back. Andrew Jones is number for the Atlanta Braves, both from Curacao.
On and missed. Curacao made famous in this country probably most by their Little League All-Stars who showed up to play year after year in Williamsport at the Little League World Series, as that has become a real hotbed of baseball. 0-2 count. Valentin with a runner at first and a big lead for Who, and he's running. Swung on and missed. Another throw is there. Great caught. Brian Anderson. A strike him out, throw him out, double play right on the money.
Well, Anderson's made a couple of good throws, but didn't really get a chance because the stolen base was on the pitcher. Here, not as good a jump from Hugh, and a quick release by Anderson on a good pitch to throw. Hugh kind of thought he might have gotten his foot in there, but quick tag put on and gunned him down.
Anderson has shown me something in this game behind the plate. Even though he's only got 1 caught, he's been on the money with every throw. They've been right on the bag, right in the glove.
Well, quick, accurate release and no real tail on his throw, which is important. A lot of times that tail can be the difference going into the base runner, making it difficult for the infielder to catch and make a tag.
Now Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds organization, playing at Louisville AAA, down to first, and Pierce makes the catch. Well, a little D for your enjoyment as the defense rises to the occasion, and you love seeing that in a ball game as well. 1 run scores as that leadoff walk came around. Team World up 3-0. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Get there on Silent Armor Technology. The great views from on high here in San Francisco at AT&T Park. Gary Thorne, Steve Phillips, the XM stars of the future All-Star game, and one of them is downstairs right now with Aaron Andrews. Aaron.
Gary, thank you. We know somebody was missing this experience today, your father, Harlan. Anything you want to say to your dad? We know he's watching today.
Love you, Dad. Thanks for everything. And it was fun. So hopefully we can get you here soon and watch some baseball.
Absolutely. Well, in Tampa, you got a chance to work with the Rocket. Roger Clemens, what was that experience like for you, Jabba?
That was awesome. He's a great guy, and you hear about his work ethic and how much he loves the game, and you see what he does for 25+ years, and you realize how hard he works and how much he loves the game by the day in and day out work that he does to be that good. And if you can take anything from him, it's his work ethic. And to be 44 and throw 8 innings, I hope to be able to lift my arm after 44.
What was the one question you wanted to ask him?
How? I'm 21 years old and I got aches and pains, and he's 44 and still going through it. And how do you manage your body? How do you manage the personal stuff with the baseball, and just how do you do it? And he does a great job of separating business, pleasure, and work. So it's awesome.
Next time you got to ask him about how to deal with those birds out there.
Yeah, I don't even know what they were doing. They want us hanging out, just eating seeds. I didn't know what was going on.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Gary.
That's great, isn't it?
I'll tell you what a nice kid.
Great kid as he got his work in. And as we said, each inning we get to see a new pitcher for both of these teams. De Los Santos comes on to face Team USA.
The Chicago White Sox organization, the kind of thing you love as a general manager. This guy kind of emerged from the shadows this year, not thought to be a top prospect, but putting everything together, having a breakout season.
Ellsbury is leading it off. There are the numbers in A ball. Patino de Los Santos, and he gets the strike into him and a quick 0-2 count.
One of the things you look for, we see those numbers right there, but you say, well, all right, in A ball, how's he getting the strikeouts? A guy that gets swings and misses on his fastball tells you that he has electric stuff.
Ellsbury grounded out his first time up, and this time he's going to take a called third strike. De Los Santos better than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings in his minor league work this season, and that's exactly the way he starts this inning.
And everything's just finally come together for him, and it hadn't really been highly, but we saw the swing and miss on the fastball and the outstanding breaking pitch to catch Ellsbury there.
One down. Team USA's had a couple of hits, double and a triple. They've left 3 on base in the first 2 innings. That one left field, Justin Upton, and goodbye. Home run. And the 5-tool player shows you one of them right there, and Team USA is on the board.
Well, we saw the power arm from center field early in the game. That's one of the reasons that the Diamondbacks love him. We saw the power swing right there. When Jay Bruce hit the ball earlier, it sounded different coming off the bat, and that sounded different coming off of Justin Upton's bat as well. A terrific power stroke hitting against his front leg. Watch how his bottom half works here. The rotation of the hips, his back foot almost comes up off the ground as he drives that ball. I'll tell you what, that is a classic power swing right there.
So Upton delivers the homer, and it is a 3-1 ball game. Upton with 13 home runs in 318 at bats this season in the minors, but he really launched that one. Longoria had a double his first time up, as Team USA gets that lead back to 2 now, and the breaking ball, and a pretty good one right there, is fouled off. 2-strike count.
See, I think with Longoria's approach at the plate, I think they're going to work on him a little bit. His upper body kind of leaks forward as he strides, and I think it impacts his ability to hit the breaking ball because he's kind of moving forward, and he really is going to have to keep his hands back all the time to be able to hit it. I think they're going to look to maybe try to get that stride where the foot moves forward, but he keeps his weight back a little bit.
How'd you like to hit a home run and be greeted to the dugout by Ernie Banks? How good would that be?
That would be pretty special.
Well, that's what Upton just did. That was Ernie Banks talking to him over there after he came in. Great to have you with us. All of this is part of this 9th annual XM All-Star Futures Game. And that one's going to hit him, and he'll go down to first base. Great to have you with us here in San Francisco, site of the All-Star Game coming up on Tuesday. This is a chance for the minor league stars to be in the spotlight here in San Francisco, and a chance for a lot of scouts and teams to look at their own players and those of other ball clubs, and a chance always in these games for at least 2, 3 or more players to add some kind of sparkle to what they've done.
Well, I think the other issue is we're heading to the end of July, the Major League Baseball trade deadline. And these players on the field are the guys that will be asked for first in every potential deal where a major league player is going to move to another club. You want the blue chip prospects, and it's these players that are on the field today.
Now runner on at first base and only one away. Ian Stewart grounded out his first time up. Takes the pitch inside. He's playing AAA ball with the Colorado Springs Sky Sox for the Rockies organization out of Garden Grove, California, and a first-round pick back in 2003. Stewart with a runner at first. Big cut on the fastball, 1-1.
I mentioned this earlier. You know, he may look at his road being blocked at the major leagues with Garrett Atkins, young power hitting third baseman with the Rockies. And I talked to him a little bit about it. He said, hey, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to go out and play and figure those things will take care of themselves.
That ball is going to be popped up left field, not deep. Gonzalez, the left fielder, coming in to that high sky, and he puts it away, and Stewart is retired. Stewart's got a great story about ingratiating yourself to the manager. What would you think would be the best way to ingratiate yourself to a minor league manager?
I think maybe marrying the manager's daughter is probably a good way to do it.
Ding, ding, ding. Right on the money. That's exactly what he did.
Right, played in Asheville in the South Atlantic League, and Joe Mikulik, the manager, he ended up marrying the manager's daughter.
You may not start, but you'll be a friend of the manager forever. Steven Pierce, he's made a fine defensive play at first base, has also popped out in his only at-bat. Still a runner on at first. Off-speed curveball right there, in for a strike from De Los Santos.
Pierce with the Pirates organization. Interesting story. Had a pretty good year last year. They sent him back to the Class A level this year. And I talked to him about it. He was a little upset. And he said, you know what, I'm going to prove what I can do. So what he did, well, he hit 11 home runs in the first 75 at-bats down there. And they said, all right, we agree with you now. You're ready for Double-A. And he hasn't looked back. He's gone to Double-A, and he is mashing up there as well. And a lot of power for a little body.
Altoona, the Altoona curve. We were talking, Steve, before the game about it. Some of the great names of the minor league teams. And the Altoona curve is a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Lansing Lugnuts.
Yeah. The Albuquerque Isotopes and Rancho Cucamonga, still my favorite.
The Quakes, right? The
Quakes, yeah. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Pierce on the South Carolina 2004 College World Series team. Pirates hope he'll be joining them for a World Series of their own someday. 3-1 delivery, and a breaking ball is outside. Team USA getting chances here. The home run by Upton, a hit batter. And now a walk. There are 2 down.
You know, we have different levels of talent and experience on these rosters. We'll have some AAA players. We have a couple guys who have gotten a taste of the major leagues. AA players. Well, De Los Santos, a Class A player. Guy trying to prove his worth here against some of the older guys. Well, we talked about power, Justin Upton's power. Let's take a look at the different levels of power. You look at shortstops. Derek Jeter's a guy who doesn't hit a lot of home runs. 18 home runs is considered average major league power. Here's average power. Carlos Guillen for the Detroit Tigers at the shortstop position. And we talk about the elite, the well above average power. How about J.J. Hardy with 20 home runs already at the All-Star break, on pace for about 38 homers on the season. 18 home runs. When scouts evaluate, that's what they're saying is they project average power to be a guy who's going to hit 18 major league home runs.
2 down, and that one's foul cued off the end of the bat by Brent Lillibridge.
You know, it's interesting. They use 18 home runs right around there, 16, 18 home runs for average. And I kind of looked at it when I was general manager. I said, well, but for each position on the field, average is a little bit different. Average home run for a first baseman might be 26, 27 home runs. So we kind of changed our grading scale to account for profiling for the position. So average power for second base might be 15 or 16. For first base and third base, it's 25, 26, 27 home runs. So that when you set average, you got a more accurate picture of the player and how he fit a position.
Got the outside corner. De Los Santos trying to find his way out of that. I guess of all that we've got here, we've already seen the Justin Upton home run. I mean, he's clearly 5'2" player and has got it. But we've also seen the big triple by Jay Bruce. They may be 2 of the best power hitters in the game right here.
And they have power arms as well from the outfield.
Breaking ball ducked under it, came back in, but still up high, 1-2.
I mean, we were fortunate, you know, not oftentimes plays come up in games to where you get to really show off your tools. And I think for Bruce, the throw to the plate, I mean, he showed what they would grade an 8 arm on a scale of 2 to 8, an excellent arm, and so did Upton as well.
Lillibridge playing for the Atlanta Braves AAA organization in Richmond this season. And getting an opportunity here with a runner on at first and second base and 2 down.
Well, Lillibridge, one of the most baby-faced players in this game. He's 23 years old, but he looks young. Try to make more contact. A lot of strikeouts so far this year.
Lillibridge foul tips that one into the mitt. It is held on to, and add a K there. So De Los Santos gets a couple of strikeouts, but Justin Upton delivered the big blow with 1 down, nobody on. He crunched one here at AT&T Park. It is now a 3-1 Team World. Welcome you back to the XM All-Star Futures Game here in San Francisco. Great to have you with us. Gary Thorne, Steve Phillips, and Aaron Andrews. Team World jumping out to the lead. They still have it 3-1. Team USA battling back with a long ball, Aaron.
Certainly did. Justin, what was that like, hitting that bomb out here?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, just saw a good pitch to hit, and man, it felt awesome.
Now, our Gary Thorne had a great comment. What was better, hitting a home run in the Futures Game or getting greeted by Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks?
Oh, it was. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say being greeted by Mr. Banks. Dude, that was awesome, and you know, it's just been a great experience so far.
Your brother, of course, BJ, was in the Futures Game, and you get a perspective many don't, because you got to watch him go through his first couple years. What has he taught you? What's the most important thing to help you get through all this?
Oh, nothing. I mean, we try to keep it light, but for the most part, just playing hard every day, and you know, just learning every day, and keeping yourself learning and staying consistent.
All right, thanks so much.
All right.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And let's take a look at our new pitcher, Calvin Mulvey. New York Mets will be watching.
Drafted out of the 2006 draft, Villanova University. A guy came in with 4 pitches and moving quickly through the Mets organization. Somebody they think could be a middle of the back end of the rotation starting pitcher. Uses an assortment of pitches, keep the hitters off balance, and having a pretty good year.
Each of these pitchers getting an inning to work in these ball games. This is a 7-inning game, by the way, unless it is tied at that point. Should that be the case, these teams would play as many as 2 more innings, but not more than 9, because simply do not have the pitchers available to go further than that. So scheduled for 7, and we'll see what the score is then, and then decide how far we go. Right now, Team World on top. Team USA leads in the series 5 games to 3. This is the 9th annual, and Team World will bat here in the 4th inning. Max Ramirez is the designated hitter. He popped out his first time up, and Mulvey's delivery to him is going to be taken inside for a ball. 1-0 delivery. Hitters have fared pretty well so far in this ball game. Some big hits. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Team World USA 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error in the ball game. Team USA has left 5 on base. Only 1 left on by the World team. That ball hit into the other gap in left center field. Ramirez, and that's going to be right off the base of the wall. He's on his way to second base. The throw will not be in time from Ellsbury, and a leadoff double for Max Ramirez, the designated hitter. Well, we've seen some balls hit hard here in this game.
Well, Ramirez getting a little more comfortable here at the plate and gets a pitch up in the zone a little bit. A 2-seam fastball that kind of ran in on his hands. They set up in the outside corner, but a ball up in the zone, and great piece of hitting. He hits against that front leg, but good L shape from behind. The ability to drive the ball. Look at his head right down to contact, and solid technique.
Herman Duran coming up in the Texas organization. He is from Mexico. Played college baseball, Weatherford College, Texas. That'll be foul back off the fists. 3-11 in the minors in the Texas League. He's got 16 homers and 51 RBIs. He has just shattered left-handed pitching, hitting .364 off left-handers. He flied out to left field. Some of these players will actually play the whole game. At least that was the plan before the ball game. There aren't enough substitutes for everybody to come out, and nobody's going to complain about staying in. Here's the 0-1 delivery with a runner at second base. Good breaking ball down and away. 0-2.
I got a chance to talk to Duran before the transition from shortstop to second base this year. And at times in a player's development, you decide, you know what, he doesn't have quite the range or quite the arm for shortstop. He thinks the transition to second has made all the difference in his hitting. Much more relaxed, less pressure on him playing second base. He can concentrate on the offense, and the numbers have spiked up significantly this year.
Great offensive season in the minors so far for him. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Duran, that's a good pitch as Mlb came back inside with a fastball to get the strikeout. And we told you there would be some changes in the ball game. They have started. Tolbert's come on to play at first base. Whittleman at third. Babcock is going to play at shortstop, and Rasmus in center field. We'll catch up with where they are from in their organizations as they come to the plate here in the ball game. But those are the defensive changes made by Team USA. Kelvin Mulvey getting the strikeout. Each of the 4 pitchers so far for Team USA has 1 K in the inning that they've worked. That will be taken outside. Robinson Diaz. Diaz had a single and was stranded his first time up. Very gentle breeze blowing out towards right field for this ball game. Lots of sun. 1-0 delivery. That's towards first. A hard hop. Tolbert knocked it down. Runner's going to stay at third as Colin goes out to retrieve it. Probably an infield hit right there. That ball was a very tough short hop, and they will give him a single.
That was well struck, and Matt Tolbert has to move to his right. Tries to get the backhand on it. Couldn't quite get to it, as it did give him a tough hop as it came up there. And quick reactions to go retrieve the ball by Coughlin and keep the run from scoring and keep a double play in order.
Now with runners on at first and third, Team World's got a chance to add some more. Only 1 down. Carlos Gonzalez popped out his first time up with the Arizona organization, playing in Mobile with the Bay Bears. And he takes that one to the gap in left center field. Rasmus going back to center fielder. Gets there, makes the catch. Runners will tag, and one's going to score. Coming in from third base, Ramirez on the sac fly, and it is a 4-1 World lead. Omar Minaya, we showed you earlier, is here, the GM of the New York Mets. He's going to be joining us. We'll have a chance to talk about exactly what they're looking for here. What do they see in the players? What do they want to see?
Now, this is Omar's pitcher on the mound here, Kevin Mulvey, so get a chance to see one of his own guys. But I think for a general manager, as much as you're looking at your own players, it's a chance to maybe put a body type and some movements to the scouting reports that you get on a regular basis.
That ball by Freddie Sandoval will go to second. The flip made to short. And the force out, but another run scores here as Team World keeps getting those leadoff batters on. They have in 3 of the 4 innings, and in those 3 of Alcatraz, where the Birdman of Alcatraz was actually imprisoned. And if you've never visited there, you should, but don't try and swim back, because only a couple have ever made it. Team World has the lead. Walt Jockerney, that would be an interesting swim. What do you think?
That would be, I don't know if I could handle it. I could swim, but not that far. It'd be a little chilly.
Man in charge of personnel with the St. Louis Cardinals. Walt, what are you looking for here? Why do you come?
Well, you know, this is a great game. The last couple of years I wasn't able to attend, and I did watch it at home on of course, on ESPN. But it's a game that you get to see some of the top young players in the game, and get a chance to see what it is, the futures game. You get to see the future stars and guys that, possibly somewhere along the line you can talk about in a trade. Most clubs are not going to trade top young talent like this, but it gives you a chance to see them. You read reports and you get a chance to see them firsthand. I think it makes a big difference, and these are truly the best young players in the game today.
Now, Walt, the veteran move on your part, holding the microphone with the ring on your finger there.
Well, I try to try to show that off whenever I can. You know, you got to enjoy it while you can. We aren't doing so well this year.
Well, let me ask you, how do you look at putting together a team to try to win, yet still build and develop for the future as well, as we look at prospects here, but also with the thought that you want to try to get back and win another World Series?
Well, it's a Steve, it's a fine line. You got to make sure that. And I rely very heavily on the input of people in our organization, because, you know, obviously you can't get out and see everybody, but you try to put together a list of guys who are untouchable in the organization and just definitely will not trade, and the rest of them you have to try and if you need a piece for your club, you know, we've done that in the past, and we've made a couple of mistakes, but you know, it's one of the things you try to do is you get somebody that helps you now, but you may have to give up somebody that's going to be pretty good in the future.
Walt, we thank you very much for taking time to be with us here. Appreciate it. And as you said, this is a game you can enjoy because you don't have to worry about who wins or loses.
That's great. I'm here with my son, and it's great. And it's a lot of fun.
Walt, thanks a million. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
Walt Jonchardy, St. Louis Cardinals. Henry Sosa on the mound.
I'll tell you, Walt Jonchardy is one of the finest guys in the game. I mean, very well respected by his peers. You know, treats people the right way, good to make deals with, knows what he wants, what he doesn't want, doesn't play games. He's done an unbelievable job with the St. Louis Cardinals, and, you know, tremendous run of consistency and success there. And with Tony La Russa, pretty good team.
That's going to be up the middle, and I do mean up the middle. Had a lot of backspin on it. Great throw made from short, as Hu shows you an arm right there, and there are two down. Sosa with a couple of ground ball outs.
Well, talk about the arm from Hu right there, and one of the big things you look for in players is that sort of an arm. We talked about power bats earlier. Well, J.J. Hardy, a good solid shortstop. He has an average arm, but how about Jose Reyes? The kind of off-balance plays he makes going to the hole. Tremendous arm strength by Reyes, and you put him on the mound, he'd light it up at about 95 miles per hour.
St. Louis Cardinals, Walt Jonchardy will be taking a look at this man, and he's seen a pretty good arm from behind the plate. Brian Anderson of the Cardinals organization, playing with the Springfield Cardinals and hitting .317 on the season, and a left-handed hitting catcher. Those are, with some power, are always valuable.
Well, Yadier Molina, the catcher for the Cardinals, not really known for his bat, so if they could work some sort of a platoon or combination with a guy like Anderson, it may fit well for their club. We saw Omar Minaya and Kenny Williams sitting in the stands talking together. Kenny Williams, the general manager for the Chicago White Sox, and Omar.
A buyer and a seller?
A buyer and a seller visiting here at the All-Star game. Both with their glasses on, hiding their poker eyes.
Grounded down to first base. Sosa with a very strong inning. Henry Sosa retires the side in order. That young man is in the Giant organization. Opponent sitting 168 against him in the minors. You want a deal for him? I'll tell you what, I got two boggles and a bangle.
Verizon Wireless, feats of unlimitedness. On June 14th, Becky Marks got a
ESPN2 HD, presented by Sharp Aquas. And a great view, our aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Get there on Silent Armor Technology. Here in San Francisco, we thank all of you for joining us. Taking a look at some of the folks watching this 2007 XM All-Star Futures game. Kenny Williams is one of those. Chicago White Sox, just relaxing and enjoying it, are you?
Yeah, it's you know, this is a scout's dream to see all these young future stars in the same place playing and competing against one another. This is a smorgasbord of prospects for us out here.
You know, Kenny, considering how the season's been a little bit of a struggle for you guys, do you look at this game and watch this game differently than a year where maybe you're making a push for the postseason?
Well, you do, simply because you never know, you know, and we always watch it very, very closely anyway, Steve, as you know. But, you know, with the situation we're in, and it's been a little bit of a struggle this year, but fortunately over the last couple of weeks we've really started to play a lot better brand of baseball. But you still have to keep your eye open, and especially with the July 31st trading deadline coming about, you know, you may have to make a move where one of these guys will be in your organization, so you better be right on it.
Are you a buyer or a seller?
We're both. We're always buying. because we always want to be in a position to where we're trying to compete and compete at a high level. So again, while you may hear or see some of the things that we do that may be construed, or the rumor mill may seem like we're just in a selling mode, we're always actually in a buyer's mode, simply because we've got dreams on the South Side, and we want to put up another banner, a championship banner in our city.
That's a good political answer right there. You got to.
It's not political.
No,
it's the way we are. We're in
really,
that. Steve, you know, we've dealt with one another. You know what mode we're in.
But that's exactly the point. Is that, and I think it's a good point for people to understand, is that you really always have to be looking to buy and consider where you are in your marketplace and the possibility of selling. Where do you stand at this point with the Mark Burley situation, Kenny?
Well, there'll be news coming out officially a little bit later today, but I guess I can let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. Mark verbally agreed to a deal today, and we're going to announce it very shortly that he's going to be a White Sox for the next 4 years for us.
Kenny, does that deal include a no trade clause in it?
No, it doesn't. It includes trade protection that is more than anybody else on our club at this particular time. But it is not a complete full no trade. There were concessions obviously made on Mark's part, and it's very, very much appreciated. You know, this is a quality major league pitcher, but first and foremost, and I told his mother and father this, this guy was raised the right way. He's a quality person, and I'd have felt that way even if he didn't re-sign with us. So we're just thrilled to have him in our clubhouse and on the field for the next 4 years.
Congratulations. Good work. That one grounded to short. Andrus will be retired, and there are 2 down. Does that change now the way you view this game and the way you view what you do now for the remainder of the time before the deadline?
Well, it certainly takes one thing off of our plate and one less worry that we actually have. But you know, we're always, and it really never stops, Gary. We're always in the mode of trying to improve the ball club, and we're just in a different mindset right now. It's a little difficult because we have played well the last couple of weeks, but you know, we've got a uphill climb. It really just is a matter of what are we going to be able to do and how much we're going to be able to make up to the.
Kenny, we thank you very much. Congratulations, and appreciate you sharing the news with us. That's big news for baseball, and a lot of teams are crying right now. But not you.
Yeah, it's a good day.
All right,
Rick Hahn, our assistant GM, did a heck of a job with this.
Thank you very much. Kenny Williams, Chicago White Sox. How about that?
That is big news. They are buyers and sellers. They bought and kept one of the mainstays of that rotation. I think a very good move for them. And you know, there were ways to work out the deal without the sort of blanket no trade protection. And you know, both parties, you know, when you're going to make a deal like that and you have certain restrictions, I mean, the White Sox have not given no trade clauses. There are ways to work around that. They may have done partial no trade or a trade kicker that, you know, you get the hometown discount, but you can add some money to it later if he ends up getting traded somewhere. But Burley really wanted to stay there, and I think this is good for baseball. When guys want to play on your team and you can keep them, I think it's a good thing for your club and your organization.
So big news for the Chicago White Sox and their fans that Burley will be there. Kenny Williams saying that that's where he's going to be playing baseball, making it is intended to be a career move and keep him there for the duration of his career.
See, and it's interesting because what it does now is that when the White Sox are looking at different trades, they don't have to fill a spot in the rotation. They have somebody in that spot now. They've now allocated some money in the budget that they're kind of locked in. They know they've got predictable money as they move forward as well. So it helps in so many ways and gives clarity as the trade deadline approaches.
That ball taken in the air to center field, and Luke Hochheimer, who came on here, able to get the side retired. Hernandez, Andrus, and Ballerton in a 1-2-3 inning. It remains a 4-1 world lead over Team USA. Omar Moore. He was cheered in Chicago for probably the last time. He was playing for Team USA at that time. Omar Minaya, GM of the New York Mets. Omar, how you doing?
Okay, how you doing, Gary?
Great to see you. Tell us a little bit about the guy we're looking at on the mound right now, a New York Mets pitcher with the St. Lucie Mets at the moment.
Yeah, Diolis Guerra is a kid that we signed 2 years ago. Last year was his first year. Started out in the South Atlantic League, ended up pitching for the championship team in the Port St. Lucie. Has been in Port St. Lucie this year. He's 18 years old. My understanding, he's the youngest player here. Big kid with a good fastball, good changeup. From Venezuela. Sandy Johnson, one of our scouts, helped out signing him out of Venezuela, and it's a very good looking young kid.
Now, Omar, we talked at the beginning of the show about the globalization of Major League Baseball. 29% of all major leaguers are foreign-born players, 46% of minor leaguers, 35% of the All-Stars. How important is the international player to Major League Baseball today?
Well, you just look at, believe is the American League starting lineup. If I'm not mistaken, they're all from international except one, and I think that's Derek Jeter. I think this day and age, you know, I think you have to be able to get players from all over the world, not only from the U.S. draft, but you have to go to be a competitive in, you know, like any other business. But you really have to have a global vision, and that global vision has to include signing players from all over the world. And I think that's good for baseball. It's good for, you ask the marketing people in Major League Baseball, they like that. And I think one of the reasons the popularity of the game is where it is today is because of that. But on the baseball side, you have to have a global presence.
Now, Omar, do you think that there are more international players today because baseball domestically here in the States isn't what it used to be, or just because baseball is better internationally now than it was?
Yeah, I just think there's more visibility with baseball worldwide, and I do believe that the game, you know, is being, you know, since you know, cable and all. I mean, kids are watching the game worldwide, and that has helped. Visibility has helped more kids participate in the game. The World Classic, you know, and this is just recent, and it's going to get. I think it's going to continue to increase. You know, people talk about a decrease of kids not playing in the States, and I don't know about that. I think, you know, that might be debated. You know, I think that maybe it's not the same way as it was in the past, but I do believe that, you know, whether it's worldwide but domestically, baseball is going through, I think, a golden era of participation.
Omar, always great to see you. We thank you for taking time to join us here, and good luck with the Mets, and a great story in SI, by the way. That was a real nice story.
Well, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being with us.
Gary Smith did a great job with that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, take care.
Omar Minaya, New York Mets GM. Ball club that's still on top, struggling a little bit, but loaded with a lot of talent, trying to get some of the veterans going.
Well, he's done a terrific job, no question about it. Real vision about where they want to go, and the international players are such a big part of the game today, and Omar has a knack for relating and interacting and bringing them in, and you see the numbers there. I mean, how important that international player is to the quality of Major League Baseball. I mean, it's 35% of the all-star players are foreign-born players, and imagine where we would be today without those players. That would mean that 29% of the Major League guys that are playing at AAA right now coming up, it would lessen the level and quality of play without the international player. We need the international players.
John Whittleman is watching that one go by. Might want to hit it on the rebound. As Guerra let that one just slipped on him and ended up flying all the way to the backstop. Whittleman, you're seeing some of the players who are getting their first at-bats here in this one. You saw Rasmus in the last plate appearance, who popped out. That's his first time up. Now Whittleman gets the opportunity as he came on to play at third base. So Whittleman in, 2 down, 1 ball, 1 strike count on him, and that's going to be inside to him, 2-1.
I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old, 6'5" young man on the mound in Guerra right here. And he is an absolute animal. You can project and close your eyes and dream about how he's going to fill out that body. And you know, he's throwing 94, 95 miles per hour at 18 years old.
He reminds me of Orlando Hernandez a bit with the form that he has and the way he looks out there on the mound. He is a big kid.
It was interesting. We broke down the numbers on the world team. 8 players from Venezuela, and I think that the Dominican Republic has long had the most major league players from the Caribbean, but Venezuelan growth, a lot of academies sprouting up down there, and teams investing money and trying to develop players.
Whittleman on a big cut, swings right through that one, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Still a 4-1 lead. Team World jumped out to the lead early in this ball game, and they have not surrendered it. Whittleman playing for another one of those great names, the Lumber Kings in Clinton, is Texas ball club. Keeping an eye on him. And Whittleman takes that one to right field, and that is way back, and goodbye home run. John Whittleman delivers a dinger, the third baseman who's got 14 homers in the minor leagues this season and 50 RBIs, gets one here.
Well, from the Texas Rangers organization, a very disciplined hitter. during his season. His walks and strikeout numbers about the same, and the power's going to come when you can do that. And he's laid off some of the breaking stuff and gets a pitch down to the zone. And left-handed hitters love the low ball, and he went down and drove it out of the ballpark, and what a thrill. That young man, how exciting can that be, huh?
So Team USA uses the long ball twice in this ball game to this point. Justin Upton, who's out of the game, had the first one. Now Whittleman gets one here in the 5th inning, and it is a 4-2 lead for Team World. As Dave Rackley, the home plate umpire, on his way out to separate the discussion. We're going to get a pitching change here, the first one we've had in the course of an inning. And remember, this is a 7-inning ball game unless it is tied. So Team World trying to maintain that lead. Pitching change, they've got a 4-2 advantage.
XM, 170 channels to find what turns you on, including MLB on XM, every team, every game. And in part by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Be a little twisted.
Good ball game underway here as the hitters have used the long ball and the pitchers have used the Ks, and a 4-2 lead for Team World. Man who's not going to get a chance to play today, but honored still to be here, Aaron Andrews.
Absolutely. Prospect for the Tigers, Cameron Maben, not able to play. Why not? What's going on with you?
Had a little shoulder injury about 4 or 5 days ago. Dove for a ball and my shoulder popped out of place. So Detroit kind of shut me down. Just wanted to take it easy and rest it up.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Pretty good. I feel pretty good. It's getting there. Hopefully be back in a week or so. But, I'm enjoying myself right now.
So Tigers fans can breathe easily right now. You played in this game last year. What's the experience like?
It's a great experience. Sometimes only a once-in-a-lifetime. To come back my second year, I'm very excited. I wish I could have played, but I'm having a good time watching these guys, do what they do best. So I'm enjoying it.
There's a lot of hype about you being the top prospect in America. How do you deal with it?
I just try to go out and give the people what they want. I just try to play hard every day, and
yeah, that ball is gone.
I just missed it, but no, seriously, I don't know. It's an honor to be the #1 prospect. It keeps me driven, keeps me working hard and trying to improve myself every day and get to the big leagues as soon as I can.
All right, thanks, Gary.
What a shot. I said they keep using the long ball, and every time Team USA gets close, Team World comes back and somehow delivers another thrust to the heart, and that was one right there.
Joey Votto got a ball up in the zone and away a little bit that he could drive, and he did just that, showing the kind of power that's getting Cincinnati Reds fans excited. We've seen Jay Bruce and Votto today drive the ball, and I think there's some hope for the future for Cincinnati. More offensive help on the way.
Off Clay Buchholz, who is now pitching from the Boston Red Sox organization. As Votto has in the minors 11 home runs, 50 RBIs coming in, playing at Louisville.
We talked about earlier the MVP of the Southern League last year. Got off to a slow start this season, getting back on track. He hadn't been driving the ball like he wanted to, but got one there to drive.
And the off-speed delivery by Buchholz to Ramirez. It is now a 5-2 Team World lead. So Buchholz greeted rather rudely here as he came on.
22-year-old right-hander pitching at Double-A for the Boston Red Sox. Look at those numbers right there. Outdueled Roger Clemens, and Clemens is delayed spring training on his way back to the major leagues.
Buchholz has only given up 4 home runs in the 87 innings worked in the minor leagues. So not many off him. 116 strikeouts and 22 walks.
He has a tremendous curveball we may see here on the 1-2 pitch. Can really throw the hook.
Working Double-A ball, Portland Sea Dogs in Portland, Maine, where opponents are hitting just 180 against him so far this year. That is a minuscule number.
A fastball 92 to 94 that he can command in the zone. Not a lot of movement to it, but he can hit his spots, and that curveball is just one that can lock up even the best hitters.
Ramirez, the designated hitter. There's one that he comes back on, and the strikeout recorded, one down. That day was May 23, Double-A rehab for the Rocket, And Buchholz ended up on the other side. Clemens went 5 of the third, 6 hits and 3 runs, but Buchholz went 6 innings, striking out 8, and allowed only 2 runs in the ball game. That's one of those games where you kind of slither away after and just go, man, was that great?
I mentioned this earlier that you know, events like pitching against Roger Clemens, pitching in the XM All-Star Futures Game, events go so far in helping you understand who your prospect is. And you know, the playoffs in the minor leagues, you can see a player play 1 week in the playoffs in the minor leagues and find out more about him character-wise than you can watching a whole season. Just how does he handle the big situations? When you need a great performance, does he have the mental ability to be able to give it to you?
Craig Stansberry in his first at bat will be thrown out. Stansberry with the San Diego organization, playing with the Portland Beavers, gets his first at bat and not quite enough to get the infield base hit, and there are 2 down.
Well, Buchholz gets him out in front of the ball a little bit there, and the hard charge by Bocock, and he's able to get the quick release and make the play. Little difficulty on the transfer on the double clutch, but still able to get it done. Sure-handed, makes all the routine plays. San Francisco Giant farmhand.
This has been a good ball game. Been well played.
There's just, I mean, these kids are so exciting with their All-Star games. Exciting because all of the great skills the players have. Well, same thing with these guys. Great tools turning into skills to play the game.
First at bat for Giovanni Soto, who is doing the catching now. He's with the Chicago Cubs organization, playing with the Iowa Cubs Pacific Coast League, and a skyrocketing .341 batting average, a dozen home runs and 55 RBIs for Soto, who comes from Puerto Rico. A 1-0 count on him with 2 down. Buchholz comes over the top, the off-speed breaking ball, 1-1.
You know, when your player develops, you don't always just want to see him do well. You actually want your players to struggle so that they find some way out of it when they get to the major leagues, that they have something to fall back on to say, all right, you know, I've struggled before, this is how I got out of it. Guys that go all the way through and never struggle, they end up struggling at the major league level and have taking a longer time to work themselves out of it. So as much as you say, hey, we'd love our guy to do great and always move through, you actually don't mind when they have some difficulties.
Because you know they're going to have it at the major league level at some point. No matter how good they are at the minor league level, you're going to have problem times. And as Steve says, what you want to know is what are they going to do with that? How do they deal with it? Giovanni Soto's got a 1-ball, 2-strike count on him. That one's going to be buried in the dirt. Soto's had a tremendous RBI output, 360 with runners in scoring position this season. We'll take a look at some of the names on the back of these uniforms that will be on the back of major league uniforms for the younger players who are all up on the top step of the dugout of both sides watching this ball game right now. Soto waiting on a 2-2 delivery and got him. So Buchholz gets the strikeout 2 in the inning, but he started it out with Vato getting the home run off him. That adds a run, and Team World, as they have since the very game. San Francisco is the site. They are up 5-2 over Team USA. And let's get out to Aaron Andrews. Aaron.
Gary, thanks so much. I'm here with Jacoby Ellsbury, prospect for the Boston Red Sox. You got to spend 6 days with the Red Sox. Everybody's talking about your first at bat. You just told me you had a lot of buddies give you some heck for it. What were they saying to you?
A lot of text messages. The ball went about 6 inches, and just a lot of text messages saying nice AB, nice first AB.
Great stories about your drive from Pawtucket to Fenway. What was going on in your mind during that drive?
Well, I had about 3 hours to get ready for the game from Pawtucket. It's about a 15-minute drive, and you know, a lot of things going through your head. You're excited. You know, you got the butterflies, and once I get in that locker room, what I'm used to, and got on the field, I felt a lot more comfortable.
What was the one thing you can take from those 6 days with the Red Sox?
Experience, knowledge. You know what it's like now. You know what to prepare for, and you're just that much more hungry to get back there.
All right, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
That's what you want to hear if you're the organization, hungry to get back there. That's what you're after.
Well, he will get back there, too. He's going to be an impact player. A lot of comparisons to Johnny Damon in his game. Guy can run, get on base. He'll be the leadoff hitter of the future for the Boston Red Sox.
Matt Tolbert is going to get his first at bat. Bottom of the 6th inning, 7-inning ball game. Everybody position-wise has had a chance to play in this game for both of these teams. Matt Tolbert in the International League Rochester. He's with the Minnesota Twins organization out of Macomb, Mississippi. He has picked up 72 hits in 69 games, and he's a contact hitter. 29 strikeouts and 20 walks so far in over 230 at-bats. Tolbert with a .313 batting average against the left-hander. That one probably away, chased it, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Now, Tolbert led his high school football team to 2 state championships, ran track, was the long jump champion. Great athlete. Guy could play a number of different positions.
He's had a great minor league season this year, batting .340 in April, .370 in May, and .318 in June. So
yeah, June wasn't a good month, huh?
No, it dropped down all the way to .318. Cow.
Got to bear down a little bit.
Franklin Morales came on in the last inning to get 1 out, stays on here, and almost had him on a breaking ball that's fouled away.
Now, Franklin Morales has electric stuff. I mean, you can see we saw the fastball that can eat up some good hitters and a pretty good breaking ball. Now it's about command. It's about throwing enough quality strikes and hitting your spots when you want to.
And Morales hits his spot on that one. So he has struck out the 2 batters that he has faced here in this ball game. Glad you can be with us. The XM All-Stars Futures Game. And what a job these youngsters have done. We say they're youngsters. They're really not anymore. And these are young men playing professional baseball. Both of these teams have played some pretty crisp ball. We've had only 1 error in the ball game. The pitchers, as we said, all of them, almost all of them, have had at least a strikeout in the inning that they have worked. Brian Bocock will get his first chance at the plate. Bocock playing at shortstop. Already made 1 fine defensive play. Swings and misses on that one. He gets a hand from the Giant fans here because he's in the San Francisco organization, playing at San Jose out of Harrisburg, Virginia, and Stetson University. 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
Now this is Rocky Farmhand against Giant Farmhand, and these guys will go back tonight and dream about maybe someday matching up in this stadium at the major league level. Bocock, a sure-handed defensive shortstop, makes all the plays. Still trying to figure out if he's going to hit enough to be an everyday player. If not, may go to a utility role.
Good speed. He's got 31 stolen bases, caught 11 times, has played in 2 different minor league organizations with a combined .262 average, 21 doubles this season, and a much better average against left-handers, .270, than right-handers, .222 this year. 2-ball, 2-strike count. 1 down. Morales, left-hander, blazing away here. 2-2 delivery. That one skips off the plate all the way to the backstop.
You know, to be an everyday player at the major league level, you have to be a power hitter or a speed guy or somebody who's going to hit .320 on a regular basis. I think of Dustin Pedroia of the Boston Red Sox. No real power, no real speed, but he's hitting over .300, and therefore hitting is his tool that allows him to be able to get it done. And you know, speed, a big part of the game. We talked about speed here. Well, we take a look at speed. Well, speed is graded by home to first. 4.3 seconds for right-handers, 4.2 for left-handers. David Wright's about 4.3. He has average speed. Jose Reyes is about 4 seconds, 3.9 from home to first base. And that, you know, he's also about 8 seconds to get from home to third base. He can absolutely fly, but and scouts are grading speed. They do it from home to first base.
Now Jay Bruce, who has played the entire ball game and played it well. He delivered a long triple and was left stranded in the 2nd inning, grounded out his last time up. He has been playing in right field throughout, runner on at first base, and we told you Bocock has outstanding speed. Giovanni Soto doing the catching, keeping an eye on him. Soto actually has played with the Chicago Cubs in 05. He played a game. In 06 he played 11. He's gone 5 for 25, a home run, 2 RBIs. He's doing the catching right now. So he's one of the few guys playing in this ball game who's actually appeared at the major league level. And a big cut on a heater down and away.
Now, if I'm a Cincinnati Reds executive or an executive from another team and talking about any deal with the Reds, I want to see how Bruce handles left-handed pitching. I've seen him against right-handers. I like what I see. I've seen a strong arm. This won't tell the whole story, but interesting to see the approach. Holds up ball from a guy throwing hard on him.
He's hit left-handers pretty well. 286 this year with a home run in the limited at-bats he's had against them since being moved up to the Southern League from the Florida State League.
And you see his scouting report there. I mean, he's going to hit for average and power. We saw the arm, we saw the power, and top prospect in the Midwest League last year.
Jay Bruce on the off-speed delivery is going to be out in front of a great pitch right there by Morales. That is his third strikeout. He's faced 4 hitters, struck out 3 and walked 1.
You know, this is something to evaluate against a pretty good hitter as well. And you look for these sorts of matchups and how you approach it. That's a quality breaking ball right there, and one very difficult to lay off of, particularly if you work the appropriate sequence of pitches. And Juan Marichal out to the mound.
Juan Marichal will take a little walk out there and bring his bullpen in as he tries to make sure everybody gets a chance. The ball game is probably going to go 7. Pedro Prieto coming out of the bullpen to pitch for it. Coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Get there on Silent Armor Technology. On this gorgeous day here in San Francisco, great day for a ball game, and a good one underway here where Team World leads at 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning ball game unless it is tied. And with 2 down and a runner on at first base, Pedro Prieto comes on to do the pitching. He is from the Dominican Republic. And it is taken down low. Cardenas at the plate.
Baltimore Orioles farmhand and first-round pick from 2006. Born in the Dominican Republic, moved to New York, and changeup is his best pitch. Fastball about 94, 95, and a quality changeup.
Adrian Cardenas on the inside out, pops it up down the line. And that is a fair ball. And a base hit in the Bermuda Triangle down there. Adrian Cardenas able to find a hole and dropped it in between the third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder.
Well, you know, these all-star type games, you have infielders and outfielders that haven't played together in the past, and pop-up priorities. There's a pecking order that is universal in the game, but sometimes the communication not. And kind of a no man's land right there, and that is the shortstop's ball, Andrews, to be able to make the play on it unless the left fielder calls him off.
So Team USA a chance to get right back in this, trailing 5-2 with 2 down. And J.R. Tolles will get his first at bat with 2 down, and the cover's cornered here. He's played in the Carolina League and the Texas League. Corpus Christi Hooks is where he is now in the Houston organization. Combined 274 average so far this season. 7 home runs, all hit in the Texas League in the 38 games he has played there.
Well, defensive skills a little bit ahead of the offense right now for Tolles, but a guy that could ultimately move up to the major leagues as a backup catcher, and if the bat comes, become an everyday guy.
First and third, 2 down, 1-1 delivery. Tolles late on a fastball from Prieto.
You know, we talk about all the different tools. If you're a catcher, you cannot have a below average arm. If you can't throw, you can't catch. It's just it's one of the rules in the game is you have to be able to have arm strength to be behind the plate. Maybe you can fill in for a game or two, but if you have any chance of being a regular catcher, you have to be able to throw at least an average arm or better.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Bocock off third base. Cardenas off first, and that's where that will stay. Prieto comes on and gets the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 are left on base. 7-inning ball game, and we're headed to that inning right now. Team World leads it 5-2. To the final inning, unless this game gets World on top 5-2. Join ESPN tomorrow for memorable moments in baseball. It'll begin at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The 07 State Farm Home Run Derby live from AT&T Park right here. 10 Eastern. It's the debut of the mini-series, The Bronx is Burning, presented by MasterCard. And at 11 o'clock, the Taco Bell All-Star Legends and Celebrity Softball game from San Francisco. That's all coming up tomorrow. We continue to take a look at the entire pitching staffs for both the World and Team USA, and we'll go one deeper.
The lefty Clayton Kershaw, Los Angeles Dodgers farmhand, and look at those strikeout numbers. 103 strikeouts in 76 innings, and fastball that runs up to 98 at times, and one of the best curveballs in professional baseball today. I mean, this kid's curveball rate's off the charts. That's how he gets all the strikeouts.
And does he ever? Opponent sitting only 187 against him on the year. In the 76 innings he's worked, 103 walks and 103 strikeouts and 41 walks. So Kershaw is going to bring it here, as Team World will try and add to it. Top of the 7th inning. Van Ostrand getting his first at bat. James Van Ostrand in the Houston organization, playing with the Lexington Legends. He is from Vancouver, British Columbia. Went to San Luis Obispo College. And off the end of the bat to left field. Look at that ball travel at the wall. Goodbye home run. Oh, mercy. That was almost a one-arm swing off the end of the bat that kept carrying to left field. And Van Ostrand's got himself a dinger, and it is a 6-2 lead.
Van Ostrand from Canada, and north of the border, played a lot of hockey growing up and decided it was time to transition over to baseball. And he had a slap shot out of the ballpark on this one as Kershaw goes with the breaking ball and kind of flattens it out a little bit as his body rushed out in front. And Ostrand takes it out of the ballpark.
If they fly like that for the home run derby, there are going to be a lot of home runs. Boy, did that ball travel here, and there's just a gentle breeze. It is blowing out towards center and left, but pretty good strength to get that up and out. Here is Escobar. He is getting his first at bat as well in the ball game. 6 runs, 7 hits now for Team World. That'll go to second base. Cardenas has it, makes the play over, and gets the out as Escobar is retired. Alcides Escobar, 1 down.
Well, Kershaw's the second youngest player. We saw Guerra from the Mets earlier at 18 years old. Kershaw just 19 years old. The first high school player taken in the 2006 draft last year. As much as there's been a shift, I think, a little bit more to the college player, there still are diamonds in the rough to be found with the high school guys. And listen, a 6'4" lefty that throws 96 is something to
That's a big
draft.
diamond.
That's,
you know
that's a big diamond. That's
a lot of carats.
That's a 4-carat bugger, isn't it?
Vargas Hernandez. He plays for the West Michigan Whitecaps, the Detroit Tigers organization, where he's batting .294 this season. 33 stolen bases in 40 chances.
He's a flyer, and a lot of thought that he's the future center fielder for the Tigers. We saw Cameron Maben earlier with Aaron talking to him, but some outfield prospects on the way. We already know the Tigers have some great young arms in the organization, already at the major league level. Andrew Miller breaking in up there, and took a top flight pitcher in the draft this year. But Vargas Hernandez, the flyer, there's Cameron Maben there. And, you know, we talked about Justin Upton, Cameron Maben's tools in the same category as Upton.
And a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Hernandez.
Well, only 3 errors in center field so far this year in 77 games, and we talked about the stolen bases.
He's got a broken bat on that one. He'll come back and get some new lumber. He was signed by the Tigers as an undrafted free agent and has been an all-star, player of the month repeatedly where he's played, so he has certainly performed. And you're right, they did go out and find one. He's from Venezuela. 6 feet, 175-pounder. And you know, if he can get a bat on the ball and get it towards the gap, he's going to be he's got the speed to make him singles into doubles. He's picked up 14 of them so far this year, 2 baggers. 3-2 delivery, foul back again.
Well, we talked about plus tools, above average tools of speed and power, the ability to hit for an average. And you have to have one of those to be an everyday player. Now, you can be a major leaguer and not have something like that, but you tend to be a role player or utility player.
And he's going to draw the walk, so maybe we'll make it interesting here. Kershaw surrenders the walk. Hernandez goes down to first base with only one away. We'll see whether or not he wants to run in this ball game. His team on top here 7-2 in the 7th, and what will probably be the final inning. Team USA will get a final at bat. Elvis Andrews grounded out in the only at bat he has had in this ball game, and he takes the strike from Kershaw.
But Andrews just 18 years old, Atlanta Braves organization, playing for the Myrtle Beach Pelicans this year. I asked him about the first major league field he's played on, and he said the infield surface a little bit better here than it is in Myrtle Beach right now. Not to get him in trouble with the grounds crew of Myrtle Beach.
You don't want to do that.
But this is one of the nicer fields in Major League Baseball. And 16 years old in the Gulf Coast League. They're getting him young, huh?
1-1 delivery on the way, and it is taken down low. The Atlanta organization keeping an eye. He has hit the left-handers, 326, but only 212 against right-handers. A major difference at the plate with a 243 overall. Runner goes. Boy, he's like he didn't break his top hand on that one. He just got that off the bat. Coming back is Hernandez, who had an enormous jump at first base.
He might have gotten to third by the time the ball. I mean, he had a huge jump off of first base. And you know, a young hitter like Andrews at the plate, 18 years old, not having a great season, only hitting 243 so far. With those sorts of young players, the second half of each year of development, by far the more important year. They have to get settled into that new level, that new speed of the game, and then you look for the production to improve.
That one he's not going to get. And Kershaw was heading to the dugout. He quickly returns to the mound as he realized that was not the third out and hopes nobody saw it. And what he'll say is, I knew Dave Winfield was going to be coming out to get me, so I knew I was coming out of the game. So when I got that out, I decided, why wait for Dave? I'll just head over. Then I saw how big Dave was, and I decided maybe I'll go back to the mound.
Got any aspirin?
I can't believe somebody from the Coast Guard didn't pick him up. Anybody between the island and the mainland usually gets picked up. Want to remind you that we're swinging for the fences. It's Monday. It's the 8 players who will be competing in the State Farm Home Run Derby live from the AT&T Park. McCovey Cove will be covered. We hope you'll be on hand. For those who don't hit a home run, they immediately will be going to Alcatraz. We're going to put him on the kayak, and he's going to paddle him out there. Monday, that's at 8 Eastern, the Home Run Derby. Ballister, Colin Ballister, the Washington organization.
Their top pitching prospect, native of Huntington Beach, California. And when you're from Huntington Beach, what do you think you do as a hobby?
Let's go surfing now.
You surf, that's right. He's a surfer. Dad owns a surf shop in Huntington Beach, but he gave up the surfing for pitching, and it's worked out pretty well for him so far.
He's got 2 down here with a runner on at first base in the 7th inning. Vladimir Valentin has gone the distance in the ball game. He's got an RBI and a sac fly. He has struck out and has flied out. With the runner going, he takes that one into the gap in left center field. All the way to the wall. It'll be his second RBI. Hernandez will come around to score. He goes into second base and picks up a double. And it is a 7-2 lead now for Team World.
Well, Valentin's a good fastball hitter, and he gets a fastball in the inner part of the plate that he can drive and right into his strength. This is power on power right here, and you see they set up inside. He ran it out over the plate. Valentin able to get to where he can drive the ball. Good piece of hitting as he stays back and rips it in the gap. Good hustle to end up on second base.
Another RBI for him. That one is going to be popped up. Vato will send that one back into the seats. Team USA won this ball game last year by a score of 8-5. They have a 5-3 edge in the previous 8 games that have been played. Team World, however, they have something to say about that, and they have so far in this ball game. Juan Marshall's team going against Dave Winfield's team.
You look at Vato and Jay Bruce today, and it makes you think about the Cincinnati Reds situation. I think Vato likely to replace Scott Hatteberg at first base. Fairly similar guys, more power for Vato. And does Adam Dunn get traded? mean, Josh Hamilton picked up in the Rule 5 draft from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Looks like he's a good young talent that just needs to now get some experience that he's lost over time. But with Jay Bruce coming as well, Ken Griffey Jr. in the outfield, I think we could start to see some remaking of that Cincinnati Reds team here fairly soon.
1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 away. Bato, that one bounced in front of him and then bounced off him. Were you surprised Kevin McClatchy in Pittsburgh has announced he's not coming back to run that organization?
You know, my sense is that that wasn't completely his choice there. I mean, you know, it's been such a long drought of success that, you know, I'm not sure with the amount of money they've been spending that you can blame Kevin McClatchy for where they've struggled to win games.
He is out of there. A strikeout. Vato retired. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. This is a 7-inning ball game. So Team USA has only 3. He has grounded out twice, been called out on strikes. The Red Sox farmhand playing at AAA, first-round pick out of Oregon State, where he led that team to the first of 3 straight College World Series trips in 05. Foul tipped that one. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Now Richard Thompson on the hill for the world team from Australia, representing the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And he's been traveling a little bit this year, moving from A to AA to AAA, but having success everywhere he goes.
He has worked primarily as a reliever. He's appeared in a total of 23 games, but only 3 as a starter. Opponents are only hitting .201 against him on the season. 3-2 delivery on the way. Will be fouled back into the seats, keeping the at-bat alive.
Well, there was a method to the world team's madness in putting Thompson at the end of the game, because everybody else on their staff, for the most part, had been starting pitchers all season. They thought, if it's close and late, let's bring in a guy who's been a reliever, who kind of knows how to come out of the bullpen and throw strikes and be effective, and Thompson is that guy.
3-2 delivery on the way. 5 back again. Ellsbury battling here to get on. Started the year at AA ball, hit .452 in 17 games. That's when he got moved up to AAA. And another one that he fights off to keep the count full.
Well, Ellsbury battling in there, and that's what you like to see. A guy, leadoff hitter, to see a lot of pitches so the next guys in the lineup can do something. But he has shown a little bit of the propensity to chase the high fastball, something that a lot of young hitters do, that you want the leadoff hitter to lay off of, particularly a guy who doesn't have great power or strength.
He's giving some souvenirs out here in the 7th inning.
Well, the ball budget for this game, I think, is about at its maximum. So
he rattles off a couple. 3 ball, 2 strike count on him.
Well, hold on to those balls and see if you get him to sign them, because he's going to have a long and distinguished major league career.
And takes a called strike 3, so Thompson wins the battle.
We look at these young players on both sides of the field. Someday they may be major league superstars. Well, these are former XM All-Star Futures alumni. Look at the roster of players you can put together here of major league superstars. This is the future of Major League Baseball. All young superstars and guys that are going to impact their teams and their leagues for a long, long time. And cream of the crop in Major League Baseball right there, all played in this game. And some of these guys a couple years from now will be on a graphic just like that. Yep.
Colby Rasmus at the plate, 1 down here in the 7th inning. Rasmus with the Cardinal organization. He is a first-round pick from 2005. 20-year-old who has played in AA after he went through Class A last year. And he'll take it for a strike, 2-1.
I think that's really interesting to me, as we see a lot of players moving much more quickly through farm systems than I think that ever happened in the past. We've seen a lot of players getting shots directly at the major league level, but I think organizations are saying, you know what, if he's having success, let's move him up the ladder. And you know, there's a saying, I was a minor league director in the Mets organization. The player tells you when he's ready for the next level. You don't set the clock and say this is the time frame. The player tells you by his performance when he's satisfied everything he needs to at a certain level, and it's time to get promoted.
And Steve, true, and in this day and age, the major league teams, so many of them need so much help that Fact is, players who are doing fairly well at the minors can help the major league team. Rasmus on the fly ball is going to be out of there. Ostrand over to get it. You just have a lot of ball clubs who in the first 2 months, 2.5, 3 months are already out of it. And so they got young players, and I think many of them now say where it used to be you'd say, no, let's just leave him there, let him develop at AA, AAA. Now it's, well, let's bring him up, give him a taste, see how he performs here, and see if he can be with us next year.
See, it's always tough because teams have that, walk that fine line about how much do you push him and eat up his service time before he's ready to impact the team in a full-time manner. So it's a fine line in making that decision for clubs.
Yep. You do not want to hurt the player. Fruto is going to come on to do the pitching here and try and get the final out to finish this ball game off as Team World tries to put it away up by 5. And we hope you will join ESPN tomorrow for the memorable moments in baseball. Beginning at 8 Eastern, it is the State Farm Home Run Derby, live from right here at AT&T Park. 10 Eastern, the debut of the miniseries The Bronx is Burning, and at 11 Eastern, the Taco Bell All-Star Legends and Celebrity Softball game. This one out away from being over, maybe. Team USA needs a big rally here in the bottom of the 7th inning and final inning, barring a tie. John Whittleman against Fruto, who's looking for the final out. Mlb, who is from Colombia.
The Washington Nationals organization picked up in a trade from the Seattle Mariners and sent Jose Vidro from the Nationals to the Mariners, along with Chris Snelling coming to Washington. And guy with a power arm, Guy Hansen, who's serving as the pitching coach for the World team, said, I saw this guy in spring training come in relief. Let's save him because he can run the fastball up there pretty good.
And the high strike called right there. Whittleman had the home run in his first at bat in this ball game that came in the 5th inning. He's had 14 playing in the Texas organization in Clinton, and that one he dances away, and so does the ball, and a 3-ball 2-strike count.
I'm talking to a lot of these players about, how many of these guys do you know? Well, they play against some of them, but they all read the publications, the Baseball Americas and those sorts of publications, and hear about these other players, and they get a chance maybe to kind of rate themselves against their peers.
3-2 deliveries outside, so Team USA will keep the inning alive as Fruto comes on and surrenders a walk. Boy, we have not seen much of that in this game. There have only been 4 walks surrendered by the Team World pitchers and only a couple surrendered by the Team USA pitchers. That's pretty good in a ball game where you think they might overthrow a little bit or just have the adrenaline going and lose the strike zone. They haven't done that. Ian Stewart has played the entire ball game, looking for his first hit. Designated hitter, 0 for 4, ground out, fly ball out, strikeout. Takes that one to right center field. Valentin is going to be called off by the center fielder Hernandez, and that's the ball game as Team World has come away with a 7-2 win. And the Larry Doby MVP is going to go to the shortstop as Lou made a couple of very nice plays. Who came on with 2 RBIs while he was in there in his 2 at-bats, 2 singles. A good play defensively at short, and he wins the Larry Doby MVP award.
Well, what I like is he came up in 2 situations with a man on second base, nobody out. His job was to move the runner over, picked up base hits to right field both times. So good situational play, solid defensive play, and for that, he's earned a promotion up to AAA as he moves up to Las Vegas for the Los Angeles Dodgers organization.
And just a well-played baseball game. We congratulate all of these future major leaguers on their performance here, and we hope you enjoyed taking a look here in the XM All-Star Futures game. And a lot of names you're going to see a lot of. 7-2.